Hi everybody, welcome back. This is going to be my third video in a series of team building activities. One thing really quick, I have reached the number of subscribers to give away my 2 songbooks, but I failed to let people know to leave a comment so I can pick who the winners are. So the first 5 comments that I receive, I'm going to draw and give away 2 songbooks. But anyway, team building video number 3, let's get started.
Police day.
Okay, the first one. It's more of an icebreaker, but I forgot to put it in that section, so I'm going to put it in this one, and it is called balloon questions. So you're going to hand out balloons to everybody in your group, different colors if possible, and a piece of paper. Now the participant is going to write a question on their piece of paper, put it into the balloon. They're going to blow up the balloon. Then you're going to get everybody in a circle and they're going to bat the balloons around. And then after a minute or whatever the case may be, you're going to stop the activity, have your group sit down, and they're going to pop the balloon, and they're going to answer the question that is inside of the balloon. If somebody happens to get their own balloon back, then they're going to have to switch with someone else. Okay, bridge builder. You're going to divide your group up into teams of 3, and one person is going to be the runner, and you're going to have 2 people being the builders. So what you're going to do to the 2 builders, you're going to give them some spaghetti noodles, some marshmallows, straws, Legos, popsicle sticks, just about anything that you can think of. But both builders have to have the exact same equipment used to build their bridge. So what's going to happen is the first builder is going to build something out of the items that you gave them. Then the runner is going to run from the first person. When he sees what's been built, he's going to run to the second builder and have them build part of the bridge. Then they're going to go back, see what else has been built, then go back and tell the builder exactly what to put next. So the whole idea of it is the first builder is going to build a bridge. The runner is going to run to a different room or the other side of the building or whatever the case may be and give them directions on how to build a bridge that matches 100% with the first builder. Okay? Lots of fun. Communication is the key, and make sure to use communication in your debrief. Okay, grab bag skids. What you're going to do with this is you're going to get a bag, you're going to get pieces of paper, cut them up, and on each piece of paper you're going to put a random object on it. Now, if you need a place to find words and objects to put on the paper, Google search random word generator, and you'll come up with a bunch of web pages where you click a button and it just comes up with random items, and it makes it a lot easier when you're doing it. So anyway, you got groups of 3. You have a paper bag filled with pieces of paper cut up with random items on it. Each person on the team is going to draw 2 pieces of paper out of the bag, so that'll be total 6 pieces of paper for each team, and they have to come up with a 3-minute skit using the items that was on the piece of paper. So if you got a hammer, you could say that you were walking down the road, a killer came and you had to use the hammer to kill him. So you got to make sure to use all the items that they got on their piece of paper to come up with the 3-minute skit. Okay, this one by far is in my top 5 of activities to do because it's just so gross and so much fun to actually do. Now this is called peanut butter jelly. So for this activity, you're going to need peanut butter, jelly, a spoon, a knife, and 2 pieces of bread. Now the goal of this activity is to have your kids or corporate people tell you how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So in other words, if they said, grab the knife and put peanut butter on the bread, don't do anything, because they never told you to open the jar of peanut butter. So once you get the jar open, and if they say, put peanut butter on the bread. Don't do anything because they didn't tell you to pick up your spoon or your knife. So if they finally get to the point to where they say, okay, pick up the spoon, put peanut butter on the bread. Now when you do that, get as much as you possibly can peanut butter on that spoon and throw it down on the bread. Now, if they don't tell you to stop, get another one and throw it on top of the bread. After they tell you to stop, wait and see what their next interaction is. It could be jelly. So the idea of this is to do exactly what they tell you to do. Okay? And debriefing this activity, it's really easy to touch on how many things that we take for granted just because we know. And talk to them about why it was so hard for the group to communicate to you on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, sometimes I'll use the lead-in of an alien landed on Earth. He's hungry. You put down peanut butter, jelly, spoon, and knife on the table, and you got to tell the alien how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when he's never even seen a peanut butter jelly sandwich before. So anyway, be prepared to make a mess, but have an absolute great time doing this activity, man. I can't tell you how much I love it. Okay, the shoe race. What you're going to do is you're going to have your group line up in a straight line, take off their shoes, then the facilitator, which is probably you, are going to pick up the shoes, take them to the other side of the room, and mix them up really, really good. Now, when you're given the instructions, you have to tell your group they cannot plan ahead on this activity. All right, so you got the shoes at one end, you got your group on the other, you're going to say go. And when you say go, the group is going to run down to the shoes, but they have to find a partner once they get there. So they're going to run down to the shoes, they're going to find a partner, they're going to grab the shoes, they're going to move away from the group, and then what happens is the two partners will be there with their four shoes. They have to put the shoes on each other. So in other words, if I found my shoes, I cannot put them on myself. I have to have my partner put them on. And then they have to tie them. They run back to the finish line, and if you want to make a race out of it, I guess that you can. But anyway, you say go, they run down to the pile of shoes, they find a partner, they find their shoes, they move off to the side, they put shoes on each other and tie them, and they run back to the finish line. Okay, shoe tower. The only things that you'll need for this activity is your participants' shoes. I usually do this activity right after the shoe race, where they put shoes on each other. But anyway, this one is called a shoe tower. What you're going to do in this one is you're going to divide your group up into teams of, 4, 5, whatever. And anyway, they have to build the tallest tower that they can build only using the shoes that they have. Now, it can lean, but it can't fall. So give them like 5 minutes to build their towers, and then at the end, measure them, see who has the tallest tower. Now, what I usually do after that, I'll have them tear the tower apart, and I tell them that, man, I just did a group 6 months ago that did this, and they broke the world record. Do you guys want to try again to break the world record? And of course, they're going to say yes. So start all over again, give them 5 minutes to build their tower, measure them, and see who the winner is, and that's shoe tower. Okay, everybody knows this one. Anyway, it's a human knot. So you're going to divide up your group into groups of maybe 6, 8, whatever the case may be. But whatever your group size is, it has to be an even number. So you're going to have your group stand in a circle, and you're going to tell everybody to put their right hand in the middle, and they're going to grab someone's hand. Now, after everybody has found a partner, you're going to tell them to put their left hand in, and they're going to grab a hand, but it cannot be the same person that their right hand is holding, so it has to be a different person. So they grab the other person with their left hand. Obviously, you're going to say go, and their goal is to untie that knot and make it back into a circle again without letting go of hands. So, human knot. Okay, Marshmallow Tower. What you're going to need for this activity is 20 pieces of spaghetti, 1 yard of tape, 1 yard of rope, and 1 marshmallow. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell your groups to go, start building. Limit it to 10 minutes if you want, and tell them that they have to build the largest tower possible with the marshmallow being on the top. Now, during the activity, if they break a piece of spaghetti, they're not allowed to get another one, so they'll have to make do, use their tape, figure out another way to use them. So anyway, Marshmallow Tower, build the largest tower you possibly can with the items given, with a marshmallow on top. Okay, next one is just between us. And the only thing that you'll need for this activity is a ream of printer paper. So you're going to have your groups divide up into groups of 3. Now the goal of this activity is to see how many pieces of paper that they can get stuck to each other without touching the ground. So in other words, if they're standing face to face with their arms out, they could put paper all the way down their arm. But there's a couple of rules. 1, the paper can't touch the ground. 2, you cannot fold the paper. So you want to try to get as many pieces of paper between the 2 bodies as possible. So if you put a piece of paper on your partner's head, you have to have part of your body touching that paper on the head. So any pieces of paper that are in between the 2 must be touched by both partners. So there you go. It's quite a bit of fun. A good way to debrief this is definitely personal space and teamwork. So you got 3 people, a ream of paper, see how many pieces of paper they can hold up between the 2, and the 3rd person is going to be the one placing the papers between each other. So there you go.
Police Day.